Please join me in welcoming Mr. Craig Carter.
Greetings, peers, family, and friends. As President Casey said, my name is Craig Carter, and I'm a senior. To my knowledge, I'm graduating. Otherwise, it'd be a little awkward right now. But I want to say, first of all, thank you to my peers, the class of 2016, for nominating me for such an award, and to the faculty for seeing me fit to win this. I'm truly honored, and thank you. So over the last 4 weeks, I've racked my brain about what I would say when I get up here, and I got a lot of suggestions from people, and some were better than others. Before we get too far, I want to say a few and see just how broad these were coming from. The first one comes from a good friend, Marcus Dozier. If you don't know him, he's the guy that's always in the newspaper breaking some type of record, throwing something, how much pizzas you can eat in one setting, that type of thing. But Marcus wanted me to talk about the importance of mental and physical health after we graduate. I think this is an extremely important topic, but I think getting away from Bon Appetit and having to write 70-page papers, defend a thesis, take 2 finals will do our mental and physical health just fine. The second suggestion comes from another good friend, Kai Simmons. If you don't know Kaya, 9 times out of 10, she's the loudest voice in the room. She's a little bossy, a little pushy, but she's a loyal friend. Kaya wanted me to talk about being faithful into one's bonds and respecting the love in which goes into the bonds that you have or that you will form. And I like that idea, but I'm not gonna talk about that either. I think we wouldn't be sitting here right now if we didn't have trust and love from someone that helped to guide us here today. The final suggestion comes from my best friend, my mother, Gail Miller Carter. She wanted me to talk about becoming a productive and welcoming member to the society that we're about to enter. And considering the conversations that we've had on campus this year, I find that to be fitting for the occasion. But I'm not gonna talk about that too heavy either. I'm gonna talk about 500 of the greatest people in the world today. I'm gonna talk about the class of 2016. How does one begin to talk about a class of 2016? I think we talk about our self-worth. Over the last year, I've heard us all talk about what we're gonna owe when we leave DePauw. Some of us will owe $30,000, some 50, some even 80. But does this number define you? No. Does the content of your wallet tell the person that you are? No. Who you are as a person, your values, who you are at your core, that tells the person that you are or yet to become. Too often we dread upon what we owe and not what we're worth. So today I'm gonna list a few fun facts so you can just know how great you guys really are. We have 6 academic All-Americans here today. 2 of them will be competing in the 2020 Olympic trials. We have a young lady here who at 22 is the leading correspondent for the CIA for her own political field. We have 106 people here who are bilingual, 50 who are trilingual, and 10 who are quadrilingual. And yes, that is a word, I looked it up. We have 9 people right now who either own their own company or are shareholders in a small business. As a class, and this is what I'm most proud of, we've put together 1,111,213 hours of community service that spans over 79 countries, 43 states, and hundreds of cities and towns. Already, we are affecting millions of lives. We have 46 people who will be going on to medical school next fall. We have 130 who will be going on to grad school, and 120 of us will be entering the workforce or some type of service or projects. We have 12 members of our class who will be entering the armed services after graduation as well. And as a class, we have an overall GPA of 3.25. I don't know. I don't know how hard it is to impress the rest of you, but that's pretty amazing to me. Why are we so driven? Why do we have so many amazing people in one class? Is it because we look for accolades? Is it because we want attention? I don't think so. Is it because DePauw shaped us to be this way? That's easy to say, but I don't think so either. I think it's that we're so unapologetically ourselves. To be you, that's something amazing. That's something that billions of people will go their entire lives without ever being. Too often we hang upon, I want to be like him, or I want to be like her. Not knowing that you can never be anybody else but yourself. And why would you want to be? No one's ever been praised for being the best someone else they can be. And I just have to tell you, I know that you are an amazing group of people. You've shown me this past year with the moral high ground in which you all stand, for the support that you've given me, not for my character, but because of your own. Because you refuse to see that anyone would go through their DePauw experience and not be treated the same, not to have an opportunity to be great, and not to have the opportunity to be the best themselves that they can be. And while we are still young and have much of ourselves left to discover, I want to propose a challenge. That we continue to explore who we are as individuals, because that's the only way that we can continue to build the world that we live in today. That we help to uplift those who are still searching for themselves. We're about to enter a very exclusive club. Only 17% of Americans hold a college degree, and at large, only 6% of the world. That gives us a responsibility to uplift those who are still searching, to build our homes, and to guide our fellow man and woman. Think back to who's uplifted you. Who's brought you here today? Was it faculty? Was it staff? Was it a fellow student? Or was it your family? For me, there are two people that stick out. The first is my mother, Gail Miller Carter. She gave me the world when she felt that she could give me nothing. She gave me a heart that beats and a mind that was driven to success. And I just hope that one day I can make someone feel as good about themselves as she's made me for the last 22 years. The second is a man sitting behind me today, President Brian Casey. I've never actually told anyone this, but the first time I met President Casey, I was on my way to an exit interview to leave DePauw. I just couldn't stay here anymore. I don't know why, I just didn't want to be here. And he stopped me and he said, "Why do you look so down?" Well, he didn't let me finish, he didn't let me talk or anything. But he bought my food at Allegro and he told me to come by his office and talk. I never came by, but he gave me something that was more valuable than any money or any words could give. He gave me hope. He gave me the hope to know that I could go on, that I could be strong. Not that I could lead others, but that I could lead myself. And that's just something I hope to one day give to someone else. It's because of President Brian Casey that I find myself here today. And for that, I say thank you. As our undergraduate time here at DePauw comes to an end today, I want you all to think back to the first day that we stepped on campus. And I want you to think about the hard days, the long nights, and how they formed to make 4 short but great years. Now I want you to think about who's uplifted you, who helped you to discover yourself. Never forget their actions. Never forget the value of yourself. Never forget the value of your work. Thank you, class of 2016.